special guests, interviews, haunting stories, creatures of the unknown, and tales that will chill you to the bone. Brought to you by the UPRN Network and Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Take a walk into the night with Shawn Kelly.
Hey, good evening, everybody. How is everybody tonight? I am Shawn Kelly, and this is my show, Into the Night. Adjust my camera there. And how's life going for everybody out there tonight? Life is, it's throwing a monkey wrench into me for about a couple, since ever the situation over in Ukraine has happened. And being an empath, I just feel everybody's feelings, and I just feel the anger and I feel all kinds of stuff. And I just went night. But you know what? Everything's going to be okay. I mean, life is going to be good. And so I'm with you for the next hour and we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. I was just off my, just came from my other show, Chasing Prophecy, and we had a pretty decent show. I mean, the show's still going on. I had to leave early in order to come over here, but we were talking to this Dr. Turi. He's an astrologer, and he's a really fun guy to talk to. He was like, I mean, this guy really, really knows his stuff. And I found out that I was killed in a plane crash in a past life. Would you believe that? I was like, holy crap. And it's funny when he mentioned the plane crash. When I was growing up, and I would say maybe I'm going to be 60 in June. So when I was at about 55, all of a sudden, I started to get the fear of heights. I mean, my fear of heights is so bad sometimes that when I'm watching something on television or watching a video on my phone and I see an edge of a cliff with a deep drop, man, my stomach turns. I don't know. And now, come to think of it, I would be afraid to fly in the plane. I'd be nervous. You'd have to knock my butt out with some kind of drug or something like that because I don't think I could deal with it. And it's really crazy because when I was small, I never had that. I never had fear of that. So I'm going to have to do some research on that and see why that happens. But so I do want to get a little bit into the Ukraine thing. I just see so much stuff going on, and I don't know who to believe. But what I liked the most about it was, and I harp on this on my shows all the time. I believe that everybody should help people. I really do. And I believe that, before I continue, I just want to say that, everything with me and my mental illness, it took a little bit of a turn for the worse, like I said, the last week or two. But I'm still on my medications and I'm still working on myself not to be depressed and a lot of anxiety. So, hopefully when all this settles down, whatever's going to happen, maybe eventually I will, come out and balance out right, I don't know if I will ever be able to balance out again. But all I can do for me is just give it, put it into God's hands. That's all I can say. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But back to the situation in Ukraine. And when I see people volunteering to go over and helping the Ukraine people, okay, I mean people from the United States, Britain, you know, um, different nations helping out, different countries coming in to help a a sovereign state. I mean, and to me, why can't we do that all over the place every day, not just when times of trouble? Um, why can't we be like that? Why? Well, and to me, it just really makes my heart really cool. It makes me happy to see that other people are willing to come around and help Ukraine out. You know, and what I'm so impressed about is their president Zelensky. I think that's his name. God bless him, staying here and fighting. You show me one other leader that would do that, honestly. And and just Ukrainian people. God bless you. I pray for you guys all the time. I pray. And it's funny before I go to bed at night, I lay on my head on the pillow, and I usually say, you know what? Please protect the Ukrainian people. You know, and so far, I guess it's working out all right. And, I mean, there's been some casualties, yes, and there's some pretty bad ammunition and bombs going off. But you know what? I just pray. I pray for y'all, you know. Um, like before the show, Taste and Prophecy, and Tuesday night, um, in my show, I read all, the people like NATO countries giving guns and food and planes and stuff like that. And why can't we why can't we just do it now? That is my question. Why can't we just do it now? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know. But you know what? I just see how unified the Ukrainian people are. And I hope this never happens, but I hope the same thing happens if the USA, Canada, or another country got into a scrap with somebody else that isn't, you know, um, a very nice country, that they would all come and help each other out. Now, again, I'm going to repeat myself, okay? Why not do it when there's no war going on? Why not do it every single freaking day? Can you imagine that? That would be so cool. That is on my bucket list. That's my bucket list for until I die, and I hope and pray that it works. Where we can actually go over up into Canada and say, here, whatever you need, take. Or Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, um, Belarus, I guess, China, Russia, Latvia, all the countries. I just want them all to be together at one time and just be able to help each other country out instead of destroying each other. That is what I want. And maybe there's other people out there feel the same way I do. I don't know. But you know what? Hopefully one day it will happen. So, with that being said, um, I was reading in the newspaper, well, the Washington Times or the Washington Times or Post, one or the other, and they said that there are some Russian Marines, okay, that don't want to fight in the war. That there are Russian people doing, like, damaging their tanks or their armored vehicles or whatever. They're damaging them because they don't want to fight. I look at all the protests going over in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, where they don't even want to be in the fight. you know. So what's that telling you? What's that telling you? What it's telling me is that people don't want this anymore. People don't want to fight. Nobody wants to go to war. We've had enough. Okay. We had the COVID, excuse me, the disease, and that took up a year and a half of our time that I'll never get back. And now this situation that is occurring, you know, people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they're actually doing something about it, which is great, you know, which to me is great. Now, the consequences that they are receiving, the protesters over there in Russia, isn't too pleasant, you know. Um, but whatever, whatever happens, I just don't want to see none of that. Never again, you know, never again. So the other day I was seeing this lady, this old lady that threw sunflower seeds at the Russian guy. Okay. And yes, I do follow TikTok. I'm on TikTok and I watch TikTok. And there are some of my friends on there who are witches. Okay. And a couple of them were doing a duet with the old grandma with the sunflower seeds. And they kept coming up with a name. It's called Baba Yaga. I hope I pronounced that right. And I'm going to look on my phone a little bit, get some more information on it. She is a Slavic folklore. Baba Yaga, also spelled Baba Jaga, is a supernatural being who appears as a deformed and or ferocious looking woman in Russian fairy tales. Baba Yaga flies around in a mortar, wields a pestle, and dwells deep into the forest in a hut, usually described as standing on chicken legs. Okay. Now, that's a tale. That's a tale that the Russian people told their children, to scare them not to wander off into the woods and stuff like that. But what bothered me about, the ones duetting with the old lady, they were smiling and laughing. And maybe, I guess I was mistaken what they were saying or looking at. But to me, it just didn't look right that they were laughing and like smiling, because how would you like it if somebody did that to you, or somebody thought that that this old lady over there was actually doing a hex or a curse, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't like that, because I sure as hell don't want to be cursed or hexed, and I just didn't like the way the people on TikTok were going by, making them laugh, and it just like really bothered me. But you know what? We are in a free country, and we are on a free platform, and that is Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all the other ones. And I guess we are allowed to express how we feel and what we see. But to me, I think it could have been done with a little bit more class, or whatever they thought. Maybe they could have just kept it together, kept it to themselves, and only, shared that intimate thought with other people that they know, instead of putting it out there. Now, I know TikTok, they post all these stuffs about, getting likes, and if they get so many likes, and they can go live, and when they go live, they get more likes, and blah, 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 and then they can make a little bit of money off it. And to do something like that, to me, that's not right. So I do believe in karma. All right. And with karma, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe she'll just sit back and relax, or wield her, her head, I just wish people more not nicer, more respectable, you know, stuff like that. Um, so that's it on that topic. Um, I just pray for everybody over there, everybody, that they stay safe and that they get food and that families can be reunited. My condolences to the family who have lost members of their family. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So wherever this is going to take us, it's going to take us. I just wish they never had the media involved. you know, Newspapers, television, all the different like Fox, CNN, MSNBC, and all them others. Because we'll never get a straight answer on things. And maybe, and I do believe, for as long as there is media, we're not going to get a straight answer. Can you imagine if the media was very truthful and came out and told it like it is? How many people would actually listen to the news if this, Shawn Kelly media? Shawn Kelly media comes out and tells you exactly what's going on, doesn't pull no punches, isn't worried about the ratings that he would get with his newscast. I mean, will people listen? I will tell you something. I'm sure they'll listen. And with Shawn Kelly News, tell them the truth, they're going to think you're lying. And this is true. If you tell the truth, people are going to think you're lying. But if you're lying, then people are speaking the truth. So what a thing. It's just crazy how everything works like that. So Shawn Kelly's news will, hopefully one day we'll get out there, but you know what? That's going to be a long time. And I still have my life to take care of. There's still a lot of things that I have to take care for me. I don't know. I do like to talk about my recovery. Hi, Rhonda. That's sad but true, as most people would rather believe a lie than the truth. So true, Rhonda, so true. And welcome tonight. Thank you for coming on. But I don't know, during my, I talk about my recovery here. So I was thinking one time when my son was young, his favorite movie, believe it or not, was The Wizard of Oz. Okay. And we had to watch it 6 times, all the way up to the monkeys. And when he saw the monkeys coming flying down, that's when he decided to turn the movie off. It was always at the monkeys. And it was sometimes that I had to fast forward the movie to pass the monkeys so we can continue the movies, So one day I'm sitting there, and it was at night, we're watching the show, and it dawned on me. Okay, this really, really dawned on me. I said, holy crap, this movie is like my recovery. Mm-hmm. So, what's at the beginning of The Wizard of Oz? Well, there's Dorothy and Toto in Kansas. And all of a sudden, this big, what do they call it, tornado comes in, and then, Dorothy and Toto are brought to the land of Oz, which is the land of turmoil. For me, this is all about me. So when I talk about Dorothy, I'm talking about myself, okay? So So they get there, and of course they see the wicked witch, the Glenda, the happy witch, and she's just standing there. And she gave Dorothy some red rubies. I'll just say red tennis shoes for me. And what happened was, she said in order to get back to Kansas, you had to follow the yellow brick road. And see, to me, the yellow brick road is the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And so I'm following the yellow brick road with Toto. Yeah, we're just walking around and checking the scenery out, seeing all kinds of other people, and that would be the little midget people. I forget what they were called. And we're just walking around, and all of a sudden we come up with the scarecrow. And what did the scarecrow need? The scarecrow needed a brain. Did I have a brain when I drank? No. I didn't have a brain. And you actually can put this in perspective for not even any kind of addiction or nothing, but just like yourself, the yellow brick road don't have to be a 12-step program. I mean, the yellow brick road could be your path of life going on. So, Dorothy and the scarecrow, she said, well, come to me to the land to Oz, and we'll see if we can get you a brain. And as they're, walking on the yellow brick road, again, this story's about me and my recovery. And so as we're walking the yellow brick road, all of a sudden we're dealt, with the wicked witch of the East, and to me, the wicked witch of the East was my alcoholism. Okay. And so, we're duking it out with the scarecrow, with the witch. But you know what? It's funny if you really seriously sit down and watch that movie. Okay, the scarecrow is actually using his brain, but he doesn't realize he is. That's pretty interesting when I thought about that. But you know what? As we keep going, following the yellow brick road, we come across the Tin Man. And what did the Tin Man want? The Tin Man wanted a heart. I didn't have a heart when I was out there drinking. I was mean. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was a very mean person. I wasn't well liked, and I would just, tramp all over you just to get what I wanted. And if I didn't get what I wanted from you, I'd just kick you to the curb and move on. But, the three of us were walking around, and again, we're walking, and of course, the wicked witch of the East, see, alcoholism for me, she is just bombarding us with everything that you can ever imagine, and it's trying to stop me from getting to Oz. And so as we're walking around, we come across a lion. And what did the lion have? What did the lion want? And the lion wanted courage. I never had any courage. I didn't have no courage. The only courage I had is when I had the alcohol in me, And like I get as I continue this story, I want you all to remember that this is my story and it's about my recovery, but you can actually put it in your everyday life if you want it to succeed. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling low, or nothing is working right, and if you think you need a heart, a brain, some courage to get you through your life at that very particular moment, hopefully this story here will help you out. So, we go walking, and that's when I do believe that's when the Wicked Witch of the East sent out the monkeys, and man, they were terrible. They were terrible. And it was like this, he was throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us, so we don't progress to what we need, where we need to go. So finally, we fought and we made it to the big building where Oz is at. And so for all that turmoil that the four of us that we went through walking that yellow brick road, we came to Oz. And you know what? The scarecrow, he got his brain. The Tin Man got his heart. And the lion got his courage. And they felt better. You know, you could just see the smiles on their faces. And what I wanted to do, being Dorothy wanted to go back to Kansas. Okay. Seaman went back to Kansas. But do you see the moral of the story? Do you see how this story progressed? And it took me 6, 7 times to watch this movie to figure out what this story was all about. You know, so I got my courage back, and I got my brain back, and you know, I got my heart back, and I started to recover. I faced all my demons. I faced every obstacle. And all I know is that I felt a hell of a lot better when I talked to Oz. And see, Oz was Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, so that's that. You know, that was my story for that for tonight. I mean, that's what I thought about all night. How I got to where I am at today. And I have so much more to learn. I have so much more things that I would like to do. And I know if I continue just being me and loving me and helping me and doing things for me, I'll succeed to it. I'll succeed. Hopefully I'll be on, you know, Shawn to Shawn, you know, coast to coast. Hopefully there's Shawn Kelly to Shawn Kelly. You know what I mean? But you know what? That's not my plans right now. All I have is today. All I have to do is live for today. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And yesterday, that's gone. That's history. I'll never get that day back again. And God only knows what happens for me in the future. So all I can live now is right now at 11:24 p.m. Eastern Time, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is all I have right now. Me and Rhonda and other people, you know, who are listening to the show. So, has anybody been on a ghost hunt lately? Anybody? I guess not. I hope you have been. You know, you can also try that. We have a couple investigations coming up pretty soon. And this is what was really crazy. I made arrangements. Well, a client called me and she asked me if I could come over to her house because her daughter was, you know, starting to see things and hearing things that weren't so nice. And, you know, we set the date. I was ready to come over. And all of a sudden, I get a message back from her saying that the hospital released her daughter a day early. So we couldn't, you know, do the investigation. And so what happened then was I got another text from her a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. And she said that, is there any way we can set up that investigation again? And she said to me, she said, what was crazy was that her daughter wanted to be there when I was there. And what blew away my client was that the daughter did not even know I was coming. How did the daughter know that I was going to be there, you know, before she came home from the hospital? So it's just situations like that that are kind of mind-boggling, you know. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, there was a reason that that little girl's going to be there. you know, and we'll find out what's going on. I will do the best of my ability on what to do and how to find it, and see what's happening. So I'm looking forward to that. That one's coming up pretty soon. And there's another one that I'm going to do now. My very first investigation in 2006 at a client's house was Sue Molnar's Marina, and we became great friends. Sue Molnar. She owns Molnar's Lounge out there on 51. It's a pink fish. So I was down there, and I haven't seen her for over a year. And I went down this past Saturday, and I was talking to her. And she was telling me that, ghosts have come back. Ghosts have come back. And she wants us to come down and investigate it again. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's been a while. There's a lot of ghostly activity happening down there. And let me see who's going to be there. I know her bar is very, very, very haunted. Very haunted. Rhonda, were you there? Yeah, you were there at the time we were doing an investigation, I think. And it's starting to, get back. You know how everything rotates or comes complete circle, right? Everything becomes, that's right. That's cool. Yeah, remember that? That was a good one. But everything comes around full circle. Now, I've had PPS since 2006. And it's year 2022. And now I'm back to where I started with Sue's house. And I think that's cool. I think that's great. I think it's kind of neat too, But we'll see it. But I will tell you this, whatever evidence that we get, whatever we get, I will surely happy to tell you about it. Okay. Which brings me to another point, another situation that occurred. There was, we were supposed to do this one investigation, and this young lady with her kids moved into this house. Separate times at the Valley Hotel. Sad to see it burned down yet. Yeah. Sue sent me that article. She sent me the article that the Valley burnt down again. That's sad. But I was talking to this client, this girl, and her friend, and she was saying that, she felt a presence in the house. And she just, she only been there a month, and she was scared. I mean, the only time she got good sleep is when she would take her and the kids over to her mother's house to sleep. So we had this all set up. We were going to come over, and she called me and talked to me. I talked to her, rest assured, everything will be okay. And then come the day of the investigation, come the day. We were supposed to start at 8 o'clock, but at 7:30, she sent me a text message saying that she needed to cancel because she got sick. Now, I wasn't mad, because it does happen. It happens a lot that things get canceled. But what I want to tell you is that I could never get over the reason why she was so scared and so nervous about us coming over, And of course, I asked her, I said, do you watch scary movies? And the first thing that came out of her mouth was, yes, she does with her girls. I'm like, okay. And I said, so to me, I know horror films are a great sense of viewing for people. I know people enjoy them a lot. But what really bothers me about movies is whenever something bad has happened, it's not so much a ghost, but it's a demon. You know, they always portray the demon. And what would happen if they took the word demon out of there and just put ghost? They wouldn't sell them. They wouldn't make no money. Of course, they had to put the demon in. You know, and and that's what I figured about. She was afraid, and she kept thinking that it was a demon all this time. And she felt inside that if I go there, I'll just make things worse. That the demon wouldn't come back and, would harm her or harm her family. You know what? I dealt with, and a lot of, I don't even want to say it's a demon. All it was an angry ghost, even if it was an angry ghost. I know I did a walkthrough through the house and with her friend, and all I got was her grandmother who was actually protecting the kids. Yeah. And so, in a way, I understand how she felt. Okay. I totally understand why she kind of canceled. But what bothered me was the reason because she watched scary movies. And, the word demon was in her mouth, in her head, And it's sad. It's sad, But you know what? I've worked with many, many people, and, I don't look down on them. I listen to them and I let them talk. I give them an ear so they can listen, And the majority of the time, I'd say 90% of the times, they just wanted to tell somebody their story, So, and that's, so if she ever gets back to me, maybe she does, maybe she don't. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but, all I could do is just give it to Spirit World, give it to Spirit and see what he has to say about it. I will tell you this, though. A couple of people have come up to me or talked to me on the internet, on Facebook and stuff, and they're saying that they're talking about, again, that there's no more paranormal unity again. That every group is out for themselves and they mock each other. They degrade each other. They comment about their pictures. They comment about, they don't have nothing nice to say to anybody. And whenever we have paranormal investigating groups on our show on Chasing Prophecy, that's the last question that comes out of my mouth. I'm like, what do you think of paranormal unity? And a lot of them say, yeah, we're all for it, we're all for it, we're all for it. And some of them are legit and some of them aren't. I mean, come on, think about it. Me and Rhonda has her own paranormal group. I got mine. But we don't judge each other. We help each other out. And when I see the bickering going on, when I see how people, have to be sophisticated and have to have this and got to be that and act so damn serious on investigations, it just gets me sick. Why can you not just have fun, And then you get the groups out there, you get the one or two of the groups out there, we do well together, yes. And it said others can't work together. And that's true. That's true. We do work good together. My group and Rhonda's group. and it's just ridiculous. You don't need to fight. You don't need to ridicule anybody. We are in this to help people out. What's that big picture? What's that thing? The best picture you can get. You know what's funny about that? I got good pictures. I got very good pictures of spirit entities and ghosts or whatever you want to call it. But I will not put it on Facebook because you know why? Because I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of people are going to mock it and they're going to make fun of it and they're going to call me every name in the book, you know? And I want to say, you know what? Well, you weren't there when that happened. That's the first thing that would come out of my mouth is that will never, you weren't there. And you know what? To save all the crap and all the bull crap and stuff like that, I just don't do it. I just don't put it out. And I show the picture to friends, that, some are skeptical, some aren't. But I don't want to go and broadcast to the whole world that I got this fantastic picture. It's just a picture. It's just a picture. It's just a video. So you go in and you take 400 pictures in an investigation. Out of 400, you might get one legit one. And then you're like, oh, this is exciting, blah, blah, blah. And you might be on cloud nine for about a week. And then all of a sudden, you forget about it and you move on. But you're right. You know what, Rhonda, you're right. That quote Rhonda says, at the end of the day, it's about helping clients get comfort and peace. And that's the truth, to give people a peace of mind. But I just wish all this bickering would go away. All this bickering, all this fighting. We don't need it. We don't need it. We should, again, helping other people out. That should be my motto, helping people. Everyone helping each other. That should be my motto. So maybe not. Who knows what's going to happen? But I will tell you this, my name is Shawn Kelly, and I am a paranormal investigator, and I'm here to help people. I am. And that's what it's all about. Now, I know a lot of very, very good ones out there, and, and I like to listen to them talk. I like to, pick up some ideas or whatever we can do and, to make it better, to make it more interesting. I'm just learning how to research. I'm not very good at it because I guess they call it ADHD, is where, if I get a book, I read the first 5 paragraphs, two paragraphs in the beginning, 1 paragraph in the middle, and I finish off at the end because I lose track of what I do. I get distracted very, very easy. So how I learned to ghost hunt was, just going out, buying the camera and EVP and going at it, And now I have my group is well known. And when I tell you this, I am not being egotistical at all. I'm truly humble when I tell you this, that we are a very good group, and our number one thing is to help people and to teach people about, spirits or any other kind of paranormal thing going or happening. I'm now just getting into the UFOs and Bigfoot and all other cryptids and stuff like that, and on my other show, Chasing Prophecy, I talk to the leaders of the people in these different types of fields. And to me, that was an honor, a lot of people, there are a couple of Bigfoot people that were on, and, a lot of people knock them, or tell them that they're not for real and they don't believe in this, and you know, all kinds of negative things toward it. And I'm thinking, dudes, if you just have an open mind and listen, you know what? Maybe you might learn something from them. You know, I sure as hell did. I'm no problem with that. But it's getting what to the last 10 minutes of the show, and I want to thank everybody who came in and listened in. Um, I, that was I'm glad that y'all came, and anybody that was coming over from Chasing Prophecy, I hope you enjoyed the show there too. So I just don't know what to talk about next, to be honest with you. Rhonda, do you got any questions that you want to ask, or is there anything that you want to talk about for the last 10 minutes? Well, until I'm waiting for an answer from Rhonda, just want to say that life is going to be okay. I truly believe that. And if I do believe that, then it's going to happen. You know, I just have to learn how to disperse my negative energy that I get every now and then, you know. But I do want to share this other thing too. Okay. Oh, hell. I have noticed many have been contacting me to investigate my place and other places. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So you got a good point. Um, oh, Rhonda, help me. Tim's Secret Treasures. It's down in Charleroi, PA. And I help her out on Halloween night, okay, or a week before Halloween. It seems like, yeah, it's true. But you know what? You know why, Rhonda? Rhonda says it seems that the dry period has ended and people are becoming more interested in the paranormal lately. And you're correct about that. And I'll tell you why. Because all the freaking crap that's going on out in the world. Okay. You know, whenever you get scared, you get angry, all of a sudden you're releasing all this energy out there. And can you imagine if all the people in the world releasing all this negative energy out there? Okay. Man, I tell you what, the spirits are having a field day. You know, they're like, it's like a smorgasbord. But back to Rhonda's store, Tim's Secret Treasure. Yes, I help her out like on Halloween or the week before Halloween, and she has readers come in and see if was seeing if that's persons. What's that, Edwin? Okay, but so getting back to her party, she and then at night, she sells tickets, and then we take people on an investigation. And let me tell you about that store, 10 Secret Treasures in Charleroi. I'm telling you, it is very, very, very haunted. Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda says you do a great job, and the customers enjoy having you there. Thank you. As you can tell, maybe I'm blushing a little bit. But it's a great night, you know. There's always activity going on in that place. Always, 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 always. And every year, we learn something more. We get a different experience, And what I like about doing that, helping her out, is that I get to meet different people every year who are just, the question was, happy I ever seen it, that person. Okay, Edwin. But I get to meet different people, and and I like to talk to them. I like to listen to their stories. That's the coolest thing about investigating and helping people out, is listening to people's stories. I think that is like so cool, And again, okay, people were afraid to talk about it for the longest time because they were such afraid that they would probably end up in a mental institution. But now that it's gotten popular, okay, they can talk. And there's a little bit more relief from people too. Okay. So I don't know. Hopefully, Rhonda, you have one this year, you know. Back to we got one more day. The March 26th, we'll be back at the Buxton Inn in Granville, Ohio. This will be our third time, and that will be the last time. That's cool. Rhonda says she is definitely having one. Remember that. That is Tim's Secret Treasures in Charleroi, PA. Look her up. But we're doing the Buxton Inn one more time. Last time we went, I mean, they had 40 people there. And I talked to the lady today, and here it's all sold out again. And I'm looking forward to that. Again, helping, the Buxton Inn conduct these investigations with people, listening to their stories, give them the basics on investigating. And just letting them experience something. And I usually tell them, I tell the people, when you take your pictures, you might not get anything, or a video, you might not get anything, or, them ghost apps, my personal opinion, stay away. Just stay away. And that's my personal opinion. But I always tell them that just to have fun, 99% of the time during an investigation, it's not so much the picture or the audio that you caught, it's the personal experience you experienced. That's what that is. And so I just wanted to share that with you, And one last thing before I go, I just want to tell everybody, mothers and dads, please hug your children and tell them that you love them. Give them a big hug and tell them you love them. And children, sons and daughters, hug your parents and tell them you love them. Because one day they're going to need you. They're going to need you to take care of them. And that works both ways, And so I hope, because I started, I hug my child. And there, my kid, he's 31 now, and I hug him. And I always tell him I love him. But, that's one thing I promised him and God that I said when the day he was born. I said, you know what? I'm going to tell that boy I love him every day. And I made a promise of God, and I do it to this day. And hey, Stuart. And so what's crazy is that when he was in high school, he would be with his friends. And he said, Daddy, I love you, in front of his friends. And that was so cool. That was such a cool feeling. And we even say it today. I remember one time I called him up and I hung up and he called me back and he said to me, Dad, you forgot something. I said, what did I forget? He said, you forgot to tell me you love me. And I told him that and then we hung up. But I got 50 seconds left. So I'm going to thank everybody. Rhonda, Stuart, Edwin, thank you for coming in. I was happy to see you in the room, and we'll see what happens next week. Until then, everybody, hug your children, hug your parents. So, good night. Happy hunting. And we'll wait for Michelle. Hey, Michelle, you there? Good night, Rhonda. So everything's cool. and we're still live, which is okay, you know. So let me go text her or message her, okay? All right. So is anybody else in the room tonight? I'm still on. Okay. All right. That's cool. She's logging in. Just want to say good night, everybody, and happy hunting again. And don't forget, we're on Chasing Prophecy Tuesday nights, 9 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 to 10 Central. Stuart, my night's gone okay. Thank you so much for your appearance and service, but I wanted to get to talk to you about some really deep stuff. Sorry, you don't have that time. Well, Edwin, next week, come on in at 11 o'clock p.m., and I'll be more than happy to help you where we can talk about it, okay? But don't forget, Chasing Prophecy, Tuesday nights, 9 to 11 Eastern, 8 to 10 Central. And right after Chasing Prophecy, my show, Into the Night with Shawn Kelly, 11 to midnight, here on UPRN 105.3, New Orleans. And I will say about this before Michelle gets in here,